public comment portion of the hearing. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to make a public comment that has not signed up on the register? See me ASAP. We'll start with Dominic Remis. Come up to the podium here. State your name and spell your last name for the record.
Good afternoon, Dominic Remis, REMMS. I'm a registered professional engineer and I work for Waste Connections, the parent company for Millennium Waste and Quad Cities Landfill. Quad Cities Landfill is located south of Moline, just 6 miles from the proposed LRS transfer station. I've worked at that landfill since 1998, way back when DFI owned it. The LRS signing application before us is required by Criterion 8 to be compatible with the county solid waste management plan. And as Mr. Kowalski testified last night, back in the early 1990s, Rock Island Waste Management Agency was established. And one of its responsibilities is to prepare the 5-year updates to the plan. RCMA has prepared each and every one of those plans. As such, as the author, RCMA is the definitive authority on the Rock Island County Waste Management Plan. RCMA, in its role described in the Solid Waste Management Plan, specifically considered the LRS application back on April 26th. And at that meeting, RCMA passed a resolution stating that the LRS proposed transfer station is not compatible with the Rock Island County Solid Waste Management Plan. There was no dissension on the vote. Now, last night, Mr. Mueller and Mr. Kowalski made statements dismissive of RCMA's resolution. They noted that the Moline aldermen may decide compatibility, and by a gift from the law, that may be true. But to dismiss the opinion of the authority of the plan on this matter would be the height of arrogance. Again, the definitive authority on the county waste management plan, RCMA, by resolution stated that the LRS signing application does not meet criteria 8. Failure to meet any of the 9 criteria renders the entire application a failure and should be denied. As Mr. Kowalski testified, the setting application is required by criterion 1 to demonstrate that the site is necessary for the area that is. The application accurately reports there are 3 existing landfills in the market. Scott County Landfill, which has 52 years of life remaining. Upper Rock Island County Landfill, which has 11 to 14 years of life remaining. And our landfill, Quad Cities Landfill, has 36 years of life remaining. On face value, that is an embarrassment of riches for landfill capacity in this market. By way of example, if Upper Rock Island County Landfill closed and 100% of its waste came to our Quad Cities Landfill, we would still have 23 years of life remaining. By way of another example, if both Scott County and Upper Rock Island County landfills closed tomorrow, and 100% of the waste from each of those facilities came to our site, we would have 17 years of life remaining. Simple math and common sense will tell you that another solid waste facility in this market is not needed. Now, LRS hired a well-known consultant after him prepared the setting application. Acton was very competent, very clever. I know them well. I've hired them for a number of projects in the Chicago area. And instead of using common sense in this case, they'll have to put together dozens of pages and use dozens of citations, dozens of documents to support their justification for need. Now, if they could have justified need with just a couple of pages, I'd probably be wrong because it would be simple and straightforward. But no. They needed dozens and dozens and dozens of pages to refute common sense. How much capacity is enough for heaven's sake? How can we possibly need another solid waste facility in this market? Common sense again dictates that the proposed LRS transfer station does not satisfy criterion 1 need. Now, The LRS application also quotes US EPA and stated the benefits of transfer stations, and among the benefits noted by Mr. Kowalski last night is the reduction of fuel consumption and collection maintenance costs, plus reduction of overall traffic, air emissions, and road wear. Now, most transfer stations do provide this benefit, but not this one. Again, common sense must be applied. The customers for this proposed facility could, instead of pulling into the LRS transfer station, just drive another 6 miles to the Quad Cities landfill. Disposal will be done. But instead, they'll pull into the Lakeshore transfer station. That waste will get dumped on the floor, picked up, put in a transfer trailer. A semi will then haul the waste 30 miles to eastern Henry County. That is not beneficial to road wear. It's not beneficial to emissions. It's not beneficial to traffic. Nobody cites a transfer station 6 miles from a landfill. Again, the LRS application does not meet criterion 8 or criterion 1, and therefore should not be approved. And just as a final note, this isn't specific to the criteria in front of us, but county, Rock Island County itself receives 60 cents per ton from Quad Cities landfill, our landfill. Now, for every ton that's diverted from our landfill to that transfer station, that'll be a loss of revenue for the county. I don't know if LRS or the city of Moline considered the concerns of the county per se, but heaven knows that the county can afford any loss of revenue. And also, of course, Rickman receives $1.27 per ton from both Upper Rock and Quad Cities landfill in fees. And so any of the waste that gets sent to Henry County, the loss of fees for Rickman, and there was some discussion about maybe the city of Moline sharing, splitting their host fee with Rickman. I don't know where those discussions stand, but the loss of that revenue would be devastating for Rickman and the recycling efforts here in the county. So, and again, what about the county of Rock Island itself?
Thank you. Doug, next name.
Well, my name is Doug Maxner, last name is M-A-X-E-I-N-E-R. And the city administrator for East Moline and the former city administrator for the city of Moline. So it's a little unusual with that on the side of the podium. Mayor and the city of East Moline submitted written comments, concerns, and objections to Mayor Rayapati and city administrator Vitas prior to January 24th, 23 city council meeting where a close agreement was approved by LRS. That communication was not shared with the city council, and I wanted to make sure these concerns are added to the record in this public hearing. City of East Moline and our Illinois and Iowa neighbors remain aware of the LRS proposal for the transfer station rather late in the process, January of 2023. We have concerns about the proposal and the impact not only in our community, but the region as a whole. First, Republic Service operates the Upper Rock Island County landfill located in East Moline. So obviously we have a vested self-interest. The city owns a dormant landfill previously permitted adjacent to Upper Rock Island. Tipping fees at Upper Rock Island generate in excess of $100,000 annually for the city, which is used to maintain and meet the regulatory requirements of the city-owned landfill next door. Upper Rock Island takes in approximately 500 tons of waste per day. The LRS proposal is to divert 520 tons per day to the transfer station, suggests a potentially significant reduction in the waste stream and revenue at Upper Rock Island with negative impacts financially to East Moline. The diversion of waste will also significantly impact the Moline location, as you just heard, and unincorporated Rock Island County. Second, and perhaps more importantly, the LRS proposal will impact Scott County Waste Commission and their recycling center, which operates under longstanding agreements with Midland Davis, a Moline company, and several companies in Rock Island County. I won't speak for Kathy Morris from the Waste Commission, but I want to emphasize that the recycling center's budget is entirely funded by fees from the sale of commodities collected at their facility. A diversion of a significant amount of refuse and recycling material will impact the viability of the operating model currently in place, will negatively affect all of Scott County and many Rock Island County communities. Now, so this next comment is really directed to the city council. Some of you may not know that municipalities in Rock Island and Scott County share a no poaching agreement related to attracting economic development projects. The intent is to keep one community from enticing business to relocate, benefiting one community at the expense of another. While I readily concede that this no poaching agreement has no bearing on this transfer proposal, the effect of the proposal does exactly what our no poaching agreement aims to prevent, which is benefiting one community while harming the remainder. The harm goes to East Moline, Rock Island County, and those communities utilizing Scott County Waste Commission facilities. As I listened to the engineer's testimony last night, he addressed the financial gain to the city and the airport authority from improving this transfer station and labeled it economic development. This financial gain to Moline is likely going to offset a portion of the debt for the cash-strapped TIF at the airport, which is the whole reason to pursue this, not to offset waste collection costs, which to me is a little bit disingenuous. What he didn't address was the negative impact the transfer station has on successfully attracting potential development on other parcels in this area. Do you want to locate your business next to a garbage transfer station? Sounds to me like Route Boat doesn't. Moline and LRS have stated that the transfer station will result in better competition, resulting in lower costs to residents. LRS Vice President KJ Laura shared at an informational meeting at the Moline Public Library on February 16th that Rock Island County enjoys the lowest landfill disposal rates in the state. I think the attorney for Group O was justified in questioning the impact on existing facilities, questioning if their existence would continue with additional competition. In my opinion, this proposal will likely make it harder for existing facilities to meet their obligations, which may ultimately reduce competition, which is what I think LRS is counting on. As you know, Rock Island County Waste Management Agency recommended as a waste management plan on file. That was updated in summer of 2022. I bring this up because we know that LRS initially met with Moline in the summer of 2022. That was shared last night. That was on the proposal for this transfer station. However, nowhere in the plan update from 2022 is there mention of the need for additional landfill capacity for a transfer station. It seems odd to me the need was contemplated. That need was contemplated or recognized when Moline didn't address it in the plan update last summer. The lack of recognition seems to support my assertion that this is a cash grab by Moline, and the justification for capacity need was an afterthought. Furthermore, as a condition for siting an additional pollution control facility in Rock Island County, RCMA is required to consider whether the siting application is consistent with the waste management plan. You've been through that ad nauseum last night. The neighbors to Moline, the makeup RCMA board, 12 of 13 members were present, voted 11-0 to 1. 11 is saying that it is not consistent with the plan and need has not been established. 0 were voting against that, and 1 abstained, which is Moline. You heard in my testimony that the Upper Rock Island landfill estimated capacity is 11 years. In my communications to RCMA, I included the fact that a dormant landfill previously permitted by IEPA and adjacent to Upper Rock Island could easily increase that capacity estimate to 85 years. Mr. Marshall, your suggestion to use common sense. From that perspective, this capacity expansion is logical and worthy of consideration by RCMA and their determination that need has not been established. I also point out that the engineer for LRS has made a career of manipulating data to find need, admitting last evening that he has on only one occasion found that the needs criteria application had not been met. In a lengthy career, that's quite a feat. Finally, in consideration of impacts on climate change, I would ask that you also take into consideration the impact on the carbon footprint. LRS has talked about cost savings utilizing a transfer station. However, to date, there has been no discussion of the impact on the carbon footprint of additional trucking of waste to Atkinson or elsewhere. I know that Moline's refuse collection fleet is 7 trucks. 5 of those are powered by clean burning natural gas. Moving waste through the transportation, we now add 28 to 30 miles of diesel fuel consumption per truck, one way, which seems like a move backwards in reducing the carbon footprint. In summary, I believe this proposal is an attempt by LRS to gain a foothold in the Quad Cities with a desire to drive out competitors. As a former city administrator in Moline, I understand the temptation, believe me, I understand the temptation to pursue this proposal for financial gain for a cash-strapped airport TIF district. However, please remain true to our collaborative regional approach to government and reject something that your regional planning partners have said is not needed and which will be harmful to your neighboring communities. Thank you. copy of the sheet. If you want it.
Ray Carter,
I will not be speaking, Mr. Wolf.
Ray Kissick. Kissick.
I don't think he's here.
All right, go back to him. Keenan, McCullough. No. Reggie Freeman,
Pass. Thank you.
okay, Kathy Morris. Uh,
Hi, I'm Kathy Morris. I'm the Executive Director of the Waste Management of Scott County. And what I really want to talk about today is regional cooperation. In 2015, Scott County had a dual stream recycling system. Containers were separated from paper products, recyclables were collected to different streams and processed into different streams. And working by ourselves, we were only processing 7,000 tons per year at that time. All of it was from Scott County, and to move to single stream and make the we could pursue this single stream facility. We worked with our partners, both public and private, to secure the necessary tonnage. And through that regional cooperation, the tonnage was secured, modifications were made at the recycling center to accommodate that single stream equipment. This was really important. It made us all more efficient. We, in the communities, were able to move to automated collection of recyclables. Automated collection is more effective, it's more efficient, it's safer. And we used some free services from Recycling Partnership to actually roll out the carts in Scott County, and I know that was used in another community or two as well. We got zero interest financing from Closed Loop Fund. They provide below market rate loans to municipalities and companies to improve recycling infrastructure. In our case, that meant a zero interest loan for those carts. And it was successful. The communities working together here in the Quad Cities recycled anywhere from 30 to 60% more than they did at the dual. So less trash was going to landfills. So that regional cooperation led to environmental success. More recycling, less trash. That's what the comprehensive plan is all about. I'm hopeful that regardless of the decision at hand, as a Quad City region, we can continue to work together on our current programs and future environmental successes. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeff Hewlett. J.C. Moline.
And slow, Jeff Hoyer.
Sorry. No problem.
My name is Jeff Hoyer. I'm with, and that's spelled Heuer. I'm with Hawkeye Commercial Real Estate in Davenport, Iowa. I've been in business for 46 years in the Quad Cities. 22 of those years have been exclusively as a commercial real estate broker. My niche is in land development, and industrial large commercial developments. You're familiar with this business part that has been spoken about. In 2019, I represented 10 different sites within Quad Cities airport for sale and for lease. One of these locations or sites was the industrial park. Development of this industrial park has been almost non-existent for the last 20 years, as it's been stated. Even with a TIP incentive in 2011. The proposed transfer station meets Moline's zoning and comprehensive plan. I can speak to that as far as a professional real estate agent. My professional opinion, this is a low impact industrial use. It's self-contained. It will add value, in my opinion, to surrounding buildings, be a seed for future development. There are lots available that are around this area. I really look forward to proposing these to the remaining lots to prospective developers. Thank you much.
Thank you. J.C. Lumen.
Hi, my name is J.C. Millman. I'm a business owner in Moline. Got 3 different businesses, including I'm a real estate broker as well, managing broker with real estate agents. Primarily, our job is to manage properties in and around the Quad Cities. We roughly 600 plus units in Moline that we manage, and a lot of talk about competition. We utilize Republic. We utilize Millennium Waste. We utilize County Waste and LRS. LRS has been a helpful competition in the market. They've driven down prices. They've helped us negotiate with all those partners so we can be successful and keep the price low. So I'm not a subject matter expert on all the other stuff that was spoken about today, but I do know business, and LRS has been good for our business. So, thank you
very much. Doug and Tammy from Midwest Group. Brad and Jim Trevor. Okay. Kenny Jackson.
Hi, Kenny Jackson, former owner of Jackson Disposal, but been acquired by Lakeshore. The best thing I can tell you about your transfer station is it's very convenient to all haulers that you choose to utilize it. You stay out of the mud and the wear and tear of driving on the trash. And then your smaller, like your roofers and your smaller haulers that use the trailers and stuff, you're on the concrete, you're inside the building, so the convenience is awesome. And even a residents of the community that will take small stuff in and not drive to a landfill, there's huge benefits to transportation on that aspect of it. So I've got a lot of experience in it, and so a convenience area, it's wonderful for many. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Matt Lang. Joe Gensini.
Hi, my name is Joe Gensini, Gensini. I'm the owner of Gensini Excavating. We're a 25-year-old company here in North Central Illinois, and we do several projects within the municipal and heavy commercial world as an earthworking, and over 4 years in the development of their landfill and new transfer station down in Monmouth, Illinois. I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of how competent they are. The people are wonderful to work with. Their sites are clean and managed well. I think this is a wonderful addition to the Quad City area. Thank you.
Thank you. Matthew Pivot.
I'm gonna pass.
Okay, and the last call for the following. Fred Kissick. Fred Kissick. Tina McCullough. Tina McCullough. Doug and Tammy from Midwest Roofing. Brad or Jim Triber Construction. And Matt Lang. All right. This is going to conclude those who have registered to provide oral public comment. Unless there's anything else from the parties, we will conclude this hearing. Mr. Mueller, do you have anything else?
We just need to get a schedule for written submissions.
We'll do that. Does that have anything else?
No.
All right. So the public comment period is going to end. The written public comment period is for 30 days after the conclusion of today's hearing. So written public comments, if you want to make any, have to be filed with the city clerk's office or postmarked if you mail it no later than July 28th, which is 30 days from today. That will end the record. And after that, the parties will provide proposed findings of fact and conclusions of law, which I would like to get pursuant to the citing ordinance by August 4th. I hope to have my report to the city council by August 13th. The 180-day requirement for the city council to act on this application is August 30th. Mr. Silverman will work with the city council to determine when the city council will meet and deliberate. And so more to come on that. But that's the schedule. Is there anything further?
What did you say you anticipated having your proposed findings of that?
Pardon me?
What did you say you would have
I'm hoping to have my report to the city council by August 13th.
August 13th?
That's my anticipation. The proposed findings of facts from the parties is August 4th. All right. I'm going to conclude this public hearing on the application portion of this, or on the public hearing portion of this application. And thank you all for coming.
Yeah.